Hello and welcome to another episode of the Playlist Podcast with me, Gemma Roots. Jack will be back very soon, hopefully in the next few episodes. So looking forward to having him back on. Um, Today we are joined by another special guest. We are joined by Vicky Pasion. Hello,
Hey,
how are you?
great, thank you. I feel like this spring energy is just giving me so much life right now. The
It's been so
sunshine and
nice.
everything, I'm feeling good.
No rain in sight.
I
It's
know, I know.
been so nice. It's like it's summer.
I know, and I think that's what's great about it. It feels like, oh my gosh, I'm getting this like summer buzz, and it's not even summer yet. So yeah,
No.
I'm really grateful.
Um, so for all of our listeners out there, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, cool. Hey guys, I'm Vicky Passion. I'm an artist. I love singing. I feel like being on the stage gives me permission to just be who I want to be. Um, and singing has always been a way for me to express myself. So yeah, I'm a singer at heart and do many other things. At the moment, I'm creatively producing my own music videos and anything creative really. That's
Hmm.
where you'll find me.
Um, so what made you decide to pursue a music career?
I feel like it chose me, to be honest. I've always sang. Like I said, it's a way that I've been able to express myself. When I was younger, I feel like I was very reserved and quite quiet. I was usually the one just kind of being very observant in the corner. Um, and when my mum kind of saw that I was really kind of singing in the house and she always used to blast out like all the kind of big divas, like I don't know, Diana Ross, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston. I'd sing along with them, and she saw that and thankfully encouraged me to go to theatre school. I got a scholarship there and just very naturally started to perform on the West End and had many opportunities to play different roles, like young Nala in The Lion King. And that was really my passion for a really long time, up until a few years ago when I got the lead role in Michael Jackson's Thriller Live. And so I was on tour, and I think that was a completely different experience because in theatre, you're almost playing a character,
Yeah.
and you don't break that fourth wall with the audience. Whereas with Thriller Live, I was directly singing to the audience, facing them. They knew the songs too, and it was just such a magical experience for me. And I think I don't know, it ignited something in me where I felt inspired to write my own songs. And that's where it really started, really. I just kind of took a leap and said, okay, if I want to take this seriously, I need to kind of take a step back from the theatre scene and move towards, being in the studio and
Mm.
collaborating with different producers and gigging, which was like a very humbling experience for sure. Just like going into kind of pubs and small venues and just being like, hi, I'm just gonna sing you like a page from my journal and hope you love it. So yeah, I think that kind of experience was terrifying for sure. um, but I felt like I was being me, and I felt
Mm.
like I was connecting with people in a way that I hadn't really before. And I
Mm.
think, yeah, just slowly seeing people kind of really encouraging me to keep going and saying like, wow, I love your voice and things like that just made me feel like, okay, I think there's something here. I feel very aligned, and yeah, I haven't looked back since.
So, coming from a like a performing background, did
Mm.
you have any of those nerves when you were performing solo?
100%. And I feel like to this day people don't really understand like why. But all I can say is that, yeah, I guess there's this safety net when you're playing a character, because almost the lines are given to you.
Mm.
Everyone knows exactly what's meant to be happening when. There's a script to follow, there's choreography to follow. And it's a very kind of safe, controlled space.
Mm.
The audience know exactly what they're kind of going for. Whereas when I was, especially at the beginning, it's a very vulnerable space. You're kind of saying, hi, this is my these are my thoughts, these are my feelings, this is my voice, this is my production, this is my band, this is me, and you're representing yourself. There's no character that I'm, as I'm growing, it's like actually I'm creating an artistic version of myself when I'm on stage, and kind of letting go of any judgments of that, and that's definitely kind of helping me to. I guess Beyonce has that. She has like Sasha Fierce, who she
Yeah.
evolves into. Yeah, so even though that sounds really cheesy, I definitely think that's helping me to, yeah, just give myself permission to not overthink anything, and yeah, just be myself. But yeah,
Mm.
definitely, it's a completely different experience for sure.
Um, so who would you say would be your main like musical inspirations?
Mm. I'd call myself a soul singer. I say that because everything that I write and even sing comes from a very kind of like deep
Mm.
place. So, like I said, I'm inspired by typical kind of big soul divas, the Whitneys, the Mariah Careys, Toni Braxton, Beyonce for sure, in terms of her kind of performance and her presence, Michael Jackson, of course, as well, his kind of performance and the way that he kind of takes an audience on a journey.
Mm.
Um, who else am I inspired by? I think more recently, definitely the kind of like Adele's,
Mm.
um, and I guess now the kind of R&B scene, which is like, I feel like women are kind of really at the forefront of that. Yeah, that's who I'm inspired by, the kind of soul singers.
Yeah, I can listening to your music. I kind of get that vibe.
Ah, cool.
um, so you have just recently released your new EP, Soul Star.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell our listeners a little bit about it? How did it come about?
Yeah. Um, so this is my second project, my second EP. The first one, Valley of the Ashes, was very much me taking a risk and saying, look, I'm just going to go there. And I feel like, I don't know if you can relate, if you go on any kind of journey when you almost like take a different turn in life, you say, that's it, I'm going to take this road and I'm going to give myself permission to just do this thing.
Yeah,
It's almost like ripping off a band-aid, or ripping off something where there's been a wound, because I feel like in life, there are things that we have that we regret, or things that we haven't addressed in life. And I think especially during COVID, we've all had habits or relationships or things that we're just like, okay, there's this thing that I haven't really focused on, and it's now time to
yeah,
take a hard look in the mirror and face that thing. And that's really difficult to do. Like, I feel like you rip off that plaster and like suddenly all this gushing pus comes out, your wound is freshly open, and you have to kind of get rid of all of that like mess. And that for me was my first project. It's very raw. Most of my vocals were recorded like one or two takes. um it's kind of rock pop. I was kind of moving into that kind of sound, and even in my voice, and the harmonies were quite like very very layered. Um and then I've had time since, that was 2 years ago now, and since then I've traveled and been to LA, and was very much influenced by just the kind of relax Vicky, like now that you've like had that, got rid of all that trauma, or at least been really honest with myself, I've been able to wipe that away, and almost start afresh. And I feel like I'm in such a happier, more content kind of season in my life. And I call it my kind of spring season, where things feel like a lot more happier, and I feel I can be open to new relationships, and love, and being honest about the ups and downs of love, and showing a more softer side of myself. So yeah, Soul Star was about me being a bit more vulnerable in a softer kind of way,
mm.
a more romantic kind of way, being more influenced by, soft R&B, future soul. We've got some funk in there, things that feel a bit more lighter. Definitely my vocals and my ad libs are still in there, and the layering of the vocals has been really key for me, as opposed to the first project where it was like layering all the instrumentation. Um, yeah, and Soul Star, I guess, is me claiming that and saying, yeah, this is who I am. I'm definitely a performer, and I'm definitely someone who loves to put on a show. So yeah, so I think that's where Soul Star definitely came about.
I really love the EP. I've
Oh,
listened to
thank
it
you.
quite a lot, and I can kind of like imagine myself in the summer listening to that, sitting by a pool or something. It's a
Nice.
really nice, relaxing EP.
Nice. Thank you so much.
um, so you saying about your first EP, you did a, a documentary
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that, like, um, got you like the following and helped you introduce yourself in the music
Mm.
industry?
Mm. What's really like interesting about that documentary, we were just filming the process. We were
Mm.
kind of like not really knowing what story we were telling. Even me, I was like, what is going on? Like, there are cameras everywhere. In the sessions, I was like writing the project as like literally in the sessions that the camera was
Mm.
in there. We had the show at the O2 Academy coming up in basically a month's time. And I was still writing the EP. We hadn't yet released it. So it was very kind of intimate experience, having almost like a fly on the wall. And I worked with a very kind of intimate group of people, so I was very much in a bubble in
Mm.
that whole time. um Running up, in the studio sessions, the band rehearsals, the all the prep coming up to that, the show itself, and then kind of after post show, literally the next day, and kind of touching base again and just be like, what just happened? And we didn't actually really, we kind of held on to that. This is literally just a few weeks before the global lockdown, and the plan was to release it almost immediately, to kind of
Mm.
then, with that momentum, whilst I was in LA, just kind of telling more of my story and working on new music. But obviously everything shut down, so we kind of needed to put that and hold it for 2 years basically, and it only just got released the beginning of this year. um, so watching it back and releasing it in kind of 2 years later, and then releasing my new music almost immediately after that, um, I think has helped me firstly to put kind of life in perspective, and notice how you can't control anything, and to be graceful, learn to just breathe through that, and to let go of any kind of expectations that we put on ourselves, because sometimes that can feel like a lot of pressure. um, and then to realize and to celebrate how much I've grown since that
Yeah.
time, which I think we don't do that often. We're always kind of thinking ahead and what's the next thing we need to do, and oh my god, there's this coming up. Our mind just wants to rush to the next thing. um, but yeah, I think withholding that kind of documentary, because it is quite vulnerable. I talk a lot about my past, my childhood, um, and being very vulnerable. But I think releasing it now and looking back has been really humbling,
Yeah.
because I've been able to connect with people in a very kind of, this is who I am. I'm not holding anything back. And it's my roots. I feel like now I've done the hardest part, to just be like, this is who I am. And then now I can just be like, okay, moving on. Let's let's continue to write my story. Yeah.
So did you do the performances as at O2 Academy Islington?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that venue.
Me too. Me too. I was born in Camden, so I feel like it's so close to home.
Yeah,
Hmm.
just down the road, isn't it?
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm due to go there in the next few weeks. So
Oh, cool. Who are you
yes,
seeing?
JC Stewart.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I love the venue. Been there so many times.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I jump at the chance to go there. It's a
Mhm.
special venue.
It is. It is.
Um, so talking about live shows, then, have you got any planned for the future?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm ready to just jump into everything right
Yeah.
now. I feel like all this momentum has been like been stocking up since and during COVID. I had my EP launch, and oh god, 2 weeks now, but I feel like time's almost like, oh, it was months ago, but it's only like 2 weeks ago. And now that I've got that kind of out the way, and almost like, wow, putting all my music together and taking
Yeah.
people on the journey of this new EP, and even kind of teasing my first EP. Yeah, but I'm moving towards like a regional tour towards the end of this year. I would love to play more venues in London, and then I guess the kind of cities in around the UK, and just kind of meet more people, share more of my music.
Yeah.
It'll be really cool. Yeah, I feel like I haven't had that opportunity yet to almost do like back to back to back shows.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I'm really excited to have that opportunity this year.
I mean, like over the last 2 years, everyone's been so looking forward to going back to gigs again because
I
we haven't been
know.
able to go, and
Hmm.
we kind of took it for granted.
For
And
sure.
I have a more of appreciation now for live gigs,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I was only going to like 1, 2 shows a year, but
Mhm.
now I've got so many booked for the year because I've just
Mm.
just been looking forward to it so much.
Right, right. I think it's so special as well because you obviously go to spaces and hear artists that you already are attracted to. So you love that kind of energy, and you know the people, I guess, who would be attracted to the artist. So I
Yeah,
think that's so special that you get to be in a space with people who are obviously kind of aligned with who you are, and what you like to listen to, and for that one moment you're all sharing this very special experience, like it's only going to happen once. And I think that's something so incredible. I don't think you really get that with, for example, like films or TV,
mm,
or like the cinema or things like that, because it's a very one way exchange. I think you kind of get it with the theatre, where like you kind of interact, like you share the same energy between the actors and yourself.
yeah.
But I think live music is something amazing, so amazing.
Um, so, um, where do you see yourself in the future? Another album or?
Yeah, for sure. I've got like two projects that I would love to still release in terms of music. I feel like I think about things conceptually. So I feel like this is very much my spring project.
Mm,
And the next one will be a very kind of summer vibe, as I continue to blossom, as I continue to open up as, and grow as a woman. And then I feel like an autumn project would be like the last kind of project, a bit more kind of grounded. Um, but honestly, I'm very open at the moment to different opportunities. I feel like there's a lot of conversations at the moment going on, and I'm just very open to, yeah, just being on tour. I would love to do, like, yes, for sure, travel around the UK and travel around the world. Like,
yeah,
that would be so cool. Yeah, and honestly, it's just about connecting with more people. I feel like, as I said, the more honest I am in my music, the more that I can connect with
mm,
people more, which is something I think I've craved most of my life, just to be able to, just be myself, and be in the same room, and, like you said, treasure those moments when we do get to be in spaces together, and why not have a good time together. um yeah, that's really kind of my thing at the moment. As long as I'm stay grounded, and I'm really happy with the team around me, and really happy with the people I'm connected with, I think, yeah, what more could I ask for, really?
well, it seems like the reception to your latest EP has been really great.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I feel like my team's worked really hard, honestly. Like, I feel like finally I've been, it's been a difficult, I think, challenging. The industry's hard altogether, but I think it's been a challenging time to, yeah, move from the theatre space, which is completely different than the music industry, and to finally be recognised by the Mobos, and my single got premiered on Wonderland magazine 2 weeks ago, which is just, I feel like, oh my god, I'm so grateful. This is so exciting. So I'm just like very grateful for the whole experience so far, and just treasuring each moment as much as I can.
How do you feel then being supported by like Mobo and all those sorts of organisations?
Yeah, I just, honestly, I just feel like so thankful. So
Mm,
thankful that there are organizations like that, even on the lookout for, fresh talent, and very grateful to have been considered. Very I feel like there's a responsibility. I think there always has felt like that way, but for me to keep pushing and challenging myself to grow as an artist, for me to create more opportunities for people like me. This project, I was really adamant about working with female producers, people of color, even just like highlighting black music and just saying, look, I'm inspired for sure by soul, R&B, funk, which is all, from the roots of black music. Even my idols are powerful females, who are also of like black origin. So I think I've just been very conscious about that, and hope that as I continue to grow, I'll always remember that, and always remember to say, yeah, I'm very much inspired by black culture, and as a person of color too. Just yeah, just being humbled by the experience and grateful.
Um, so one final question that we ask all the musicians that have been on the show:
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give to a listener who is thinking about joining the music industry?
Oh wow, you're in for a ride. I'd say hold on tight, hold on tight. Honestly, I think for me, it's helped to just remember why. Remember why you are choosing to express yourself through music. Remember how it makes you feel. Remember how it helps you perhaps to express yourself in a certain kind of way, to take you on a journey in your mind, and hopefully you can take other people on that journey with you. um, and if you can remember that, I think whatever obstacles that you'll face along the way, because of course with any situation, with any industry, you will always come across obstacles. um, so it's helped me to just remember why in those tough times, like, okay, this is why I'm doing it. Really, let's just strip all of that back and be like, why am I actually doing this? Even in the joys, and even in the highs, sometimes you can get lost, and
Mm,
you can get carried away with things, and then make decisions that perhaps you may regret. And I think for me, it's just always been really um, humbling and grounding for me to be like, okay, but that doesn't matter. What matters is, am I connecting to myself? Am I being true to what I want to say? The bigger you get, the more people involved, the more money's involved, the more, different partnerships or opportunities come along, which may seem like opportunities, but maybe are not aligned with who you are. And that's okay, as long as you're kind of aware um, of why you're doing things. So I'd
mm.
say that, and hold on tight, and enjoy it, because it's all passing, right? So yeah, to just surround yourself with good people meaning who just want to see you happy at the end of the day. And as long as you do that, then I think, yeah, let go.
It's
That's what
really
I'm
good
trying to do
advice.
anyway.
Yeah,
I hate
really,
roller
really good
coasters, but
advice.
I feel like I'm going, yeah, let's go.
So where can we catch you on social media? Where can we listen to your music?
Yeah, so on all major streaming platforms, Vicky Passion with one S. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok nowadays, Twitter. Yeah, if you just search for Vicky Passion, you'll find me there.
Well, thank you for coming on.
No, of course. Thank you so much for opening up the space for me.
Our pleasure. Um, so you can catch Vicky on all the social medias as we've said, and make sure to go and listen to her new EP Soulstar. And to all of our listeners out there, thank you for listening and watching. Goodbye.